Welcome to Bridging the Gap to Connections, the talk show, where we begin by sharing your stories and spotlighting your shine. Welcome back to Bridging the Gap to Connections. This is Darla Williams here, and today is Talking Books, Art, and More. So Tuesdays, Talking Books and More. We're going to go ahead and continue following up. Over the next 39 weeks is going to continue working on the information from Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. I was talking about the thought controllers in stuff that teaching that he taught in regards to helping us overall, right? Changing and shifting the mind where we are actually able to begin thinking a different way. So I want to take us through this teaching and this training, right? So that we can actually begin shifting the way that we allow things to process for us. So a good example to that would be day 2 for his teaching is the scripture, John 14:27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. John 14:27. Now, the conversation here, the piece that he wants us to really dive into, which is if we had a big group together that we could actually begin talking about some of these things, I would love for you to put your comments, questions, or anything that whatever it stimulated, what are you shifting through so that you are getting to your highest timeline? This is what it says, without a deep inner state of quietness, one becomes prey to tension, worry, and ill health. A song, a sunset, moonlight, and the sea washing on a sandy beach. These administer a healing balm, but they lack a power to penetrate the inner recesses of the soul. A profound depth therapy is required to attain healing quietness, and habitual repetition of this one text will, in time, permeate your personality with a complete sense of peace. When tense is restlessness, sit quietly and allow these words to pass unhindered through your thoughts. Conceive of them as separating a healing balm throughout, of spreading, spreading a healing balm throughout the mind. Let me go ahead and reread that last sentence. When tense or restless, sit quietly and allow these words to pass unhindered through your thoughts. Conceive of them as spreading a healing balm throughout your mind. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you, not as the world giveth, and give I unto you. Let your heart not be troubled, neither let it be afraid. So knowing, when we find peace, we have a knowing, we have a security, we have a system within ourselves that allows us to, without a shadow of a doubt, believe in therefore what we're going to receive, or that all things are going to come to be. No matter what situations or circumstances in life you've been through up until now, you've made it to this point. You have already 100% come through. The situation is, are you at peace with what has happened? How many of those circumstances and situations, one of the biggest challenges that I've had recently been given by a coach, and it's a resilience coach, was what situations in my life are undone, which parts are not complete, what's unfinished in my life, basically. What stories are still untied, keeping me from the things in which I want to achieve. I know that we all have something, and we all have situations every day, things that keep us from where we want to go, things that distract us, things that we relive through experiences that we've gone through. We have storylines, and that's just what it is. It's the story. It's the story that brought us to where we are right now. Are you at peace with that story? We all have to come to a place where we can be at peace within ourselves, within our story. So this scripture here is a great way for us to begin allowing the words themselves, the power of this word, on repeat within ourselves, in the repetition, taking a positive affirmation and applying it in a repetition to begin building and restoring a place within. Basically, as he had said, it's like administering a healing balm, talking about the deep inner state of quietness. So without a deep inner state of quietness and inner peace, regardless of what the turmoil, the circumstances, and the situations are around us, what we really need to focus on is what's happening within. Imagine for a moment you're a boat and you're on the waters. And all of a sudden, a storm comes blowing in. As the storm blows in, the waves begin to toss your boat to and fro and to and fro. And you may be looking off in the distance and you might see some kind of glimmer of light in the distance from the lighthouse, the shore, the safe harbor. But at the moment, you're trapped in the waters of the sea being tossed back and forth. Now, without having a good captain on board, yourself, being able to navigate the rough waters of life without the tools, the understanding, and the techniques to begin pulling ourselves through, we may begin to take on water. With our boats going back and forth, we could capsize, meaning that we could capsize where we're going over the side of the boat. We could feel stranded in the waves itself and adrift on the remnants of what's left behind after trauma. However, no matter where you're at in the story, if you're at the beginning where the waves are just coming and going, are they hitting the side of your boat, or are they coming in and sinking it? Situations and circumstances is nothing but that, the water along the edge. It can really rise up and cause our boats to go back and forth, right? Riding on those waves. Or we could try and steer against it, and all of a sudden, all that water's lapping in and taking us down. Sometimes a situation comes upon us so abrupt that we're not even aware that it's coming in. And when it hits, it leaves us like as if we hit the rock in the water. And we're left in the remnants of all of that and happen to find a way to buoy back to safe ground. No matter where you're at in your story, what the first step is come back to the quiet, still place within. Peace be still, my soul. That is one of my favorite scriptures. Peace be still in my soul. When my soul is still and the peace has succumbed all of that space within, life doesn't seem to be so overwhelming. It doesn't cause me to get tossed to and fro. But sometimes, no matter who we are, we can have situations and circumstances that sneak up on us, catch us off guard, and allow us to go through the circumstances, allowing the storm to allow the waters to just capsize our boat and make us have to start over. No matter where we're at in the journey, if it's in the total ruins from trauma, or whether or not it's just facing everyday life, whether or not it's just a little bit of water on the sands of the beach lapping up on that shore that is causing a little disruption in the sand, or whether or not it's your boat submerged way out in the waters and the storms arose and causes you to be tossed to and fro. When you remember that the peace begins within. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, nor let it be afraid. Stand still and know that the God that lives within, the God, the source of the universe, the God that makes all things flow together in perfect ease and harmony, the space of the abundance from the beginnings of the foundations of creation, can take no matter what situation and circumstance that you've been through. And when you understand that that lives within you, and you can connect within again to the one piece, the one part that connects all of us, we can resolve any situation and circumstance along the way. That is Tuesday Talking Books, Art, and so much more. Until another episode, thanks again. Today's scripture was John 14:27, if you'd like to go read it for yourself. And make sure that you read it from a couple different versions of the Bible so that you can actually read it in a construct that is going to make sense to you. I recommend, if you really struggle with reading and understanding the deeper, bigger words like the giveth, the thou, and the saith and stuff like that, if that really confuses you, I would recommend an NIV or I would recommend an NIV, New International Version, because it helps us to break it down into a simpler form. But there are multiple other versions as well. We don't always have to read the King James Version. And there are just so many different ways that we can begin learning these scriptures and allowing these things to actually bring healing, restoration to our soul. Until next time, this is Darla signing off. Bye for now.